Hey, it's nice to be here today. Thank you for receiving us.
Nice that you are here.
Please tell us a little bit about this place. I see a robot and I see some machines. Where we are and what is this place used for?
So this is the laboratory of the mechanical engineering, and also even it's the mechanical engineering laboratory, but we have here the robots and, as you say, another machines. But for what comes for the automation engineering students, they are doing here the laboratory of the robotics exercises and so on.
Actually, that's the reason why we're here today. I want to ask you a little bit more about the automation engineering program. Tell us a little bit, what is the program all about? Do students actually come and do something here? Do they get to play with this robot? And
yes, of course.
Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So what is the automation engineering program? So I would say that it's very wide, and you can learn a lot of things of the automation. Let's say like production, what comes to the automation, coding, and also CAD systems, and so it's very wide area.
Okay.
So, but as you asked that, can the students also work here? Of course, as we are like the University of Applied Sciences, that means that our student needs to do the hands-on exercises, and also like in here, they do the exercises with this robotics by themselves.
So is this part of like the courses? Like do they get to like to program the movements, or what is it that they do with the robot in this case?
Of course, like everything in automation have developed such fast and rapidly last years, and okay, we are not doing nowadays not so like traditional programming. What, for example, what you try to move the robot.
I try to
and
move the robot.
Actually, you did as well.
And yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how easy it is for the students to learn.
Yeah, it is. They do like just the same what you did, but nowadays we do most of the programming also for the robots in the computer and the virtual environment and with the simulation models. So it's nowadays it's very, for example, programming the robot is different than what it was like let's say a decade ago. And so anyway, but this is only the one laboratory where they do the exercises. So we have also 1, 2, 3 laboratories where they do a different kind of exercises.
So would you say that, for example, what they get to do here and in the other labs, is it something similar as that what they will do in working life, like in companies or factories, etc.?
Yeah,
what they learn here is
yeah,
what they do
definitely. Definitely, because we do a lot of cooperating with the local companies, and also when we are doing the research, but also when the student makes their thesis or they make the training in the company, and at the same time we can ask from the companies what they really need, what are their requirements for the student, what they need to know when they come to work for them. So we need to discuss with the companies all the time, and I think that's the best way how we can serve the companies to provide the students who can already do something when they go to work there, and they know at least the basics.
And in that way, it helps us as an education organization, help us to be in the cutting edge, like knowing exactly what the industry is needed.
Yeah,
right, I guess.
and also I think we need to be at one step further, at least in some cases. So we need to implement some newest technologies here, and then bring them to the companies by the knowledge what the students have of these new systems.
And for example, what are some of the courses or the study modules that the students go through in their studies? You know?
So of course, in the first year, you have the like a very common studies like mathematics, physics. You like them?
Physics, yeah. Math, I'm not a big fan, but
All
it's very interesting. How
Yeah, but
physics,
the math is only the language of the physics, so
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, but of course,
not
the
turning on by
mathematics,
it.
physics, but also the language and studies and this kind of. So after also in the first year, there's coming some CAD system studies that I think that it's good that it's not only mathematics and all these theoretical things, because it's more nice for a student when they already in the first year, okay, they can put the hands on and they can see what they produce and so. But the next years we go more deeper and deeper the professional skills of the automation engineering. So the modules what there might be is this production automation, where actually is the robotics also and what I would say there is like things like. Industrial IoT, Internet of the Things. There is a studies based on that subjects, and then there is a electrics. There is a PLC programming, so on.
And for example, here at SAM, the automation engineering program, what is the length of the studies? Like for how many years do the students are expected to be here?
So they are expected to get everything through in 4 years.
Okay. Does that include like practical training?
Yeah, it includes the practical training as well.
Do they get to do exchange program, for example, also like going to another country and learning something else?
So, to be honest, I'm not sure how it is in automation engineering, which is the study program for the students from abroad. But of course, like our local students, they can do the traineeship or they can exchange period in Germany, for example.
What kind of places can the students work after graduation?
Automation engineers.
Yeah.
So as I say, it's a very wide program. So you can be in a very deep development of the system. They might be a mechanical system. They might be a electrical system, process automation. So you can be there to develop these things. But there is a lot of things between that, and also if you think about the marketing, for example, you can do the technical sales, for example, which means that you need to understand the systems as well, that you can make the sales and you can explain these things for the customers and so on. So also it depends about your personality. So if you are like an open person, and you like to work with the people and you like to travel, and so you can work in as a sales, but also you can work like engineer task when some system is when they run up some system, some factory system in abroad. So you can make the travel on that case as well, but. You can be an expert in many different areas, and I like to say again that it's you have a lot of opportunities, and it depends what you like and what is your personality.
What do you think that what makes this program so special that Sam wanted to have it in English? Because I know that it's been in Finnish language for many years.
Yeah.
But then, like, what do you think that this program specifically could be attracted for students?
So I think there are so many things, because in many years, I think all of our automation engineering students have got a workplace, and so that's why we are expecting also that these students from the abroad that they have also the same possibilities to get the workplace easier when they are experts in automation. So also I would raise the thing that that SEAMK and automation program has been in very top of the when we make the queries for the students who have graduated from our school. So they have been voted our school a very top in these quiries last years.
Yeah, this leads me to my next question, which is how do you think that can the students be expected to work, for example, after graduation? Is this area like open for students, or is it better that they wait until they finish their studies, in order to look for those opportunities? What do you think?
What comes to the working during the studies, especially when you are first year or second year student, so it might be even if you are a Finnish student or you are from the abroad, so it might be a little bit hard to get the work beside the studies, and if you want to work in automation and so on. So maybe the companies is expecting that you don't have enough the knowledge of these things, but of course you can work something else, and a lot of students, even Finnish students, students from the abroad, they do some else work.
So
of course they need to earn more money, because the substitution from the government is not so high from the for the student, as you know. So
so will you say that, for example, the students that while they are studying, is better for them to focus on their studies and to pay attention and do their homework and assignments and everything, and then after graduation, there are more possibilities?
Correct.
And do you think they need to learn Finnish? Like how do you see that?
Yeah, it's actually what we have been seeing, that it's very important in Finland that you even when you are working the multi or international company, so the learning the Finnish will definitely help you to get the workplace.
Yeah.
It's just true.
I believe you. I'm witness of that.
Yeah.
And lastly, is there any final words you would like to tell our viewers about words of encouragement about coming to study at SEAMK?
I definitely say that as the SEAMK and automation engineering program is like vote in the national, let's say the national queries is rise very top in many years. So the student have like to stay here, like to study here. We have very top personals and the teachers. Yeah, but of course, if they are enjoying to stay here and study here, so I think it's tells a lot. And as I already said, that we do a lot of hands-on training, and that's my opinion, that would be better way to learn than do things by yourself. And the facilities what we have here, the laboratories, so they are very modern and
Thank you so much for hosting us here today. Thank you for telling us about the program, and I'm sure our viewers enjoyed the conversation. I'm sure they will get encouraged, to come and play with the robots and learn how to use them and programming, etc. And see you next time.
See you.